Hey guys, how's everyone doing? Hope you guys are having a good day. Today we're going to be taking a look at some Digimon figures. These were released, I think, sometime around like 4 years ago. Maybe 2018, maybe even 2017. Some of these were released. These were released to the public as like gacha figures. But of course, there were a lot of stores that were able to order these figures as a set. And that's pretty much what I did. I just don't like the risk of rolling gacha and then having, like four of the same figures and not being able to complete a set. Even though I must admit that there's a lot of fun in doing that as well. But I did purchase this as a set. I am missing like one or two pieces, unfortunately. I think I just lost it while I was moving from one home to another. So that's quite unfortunate. I'm also missing two different sets. So as you guys know, these come as a set. I can't really tell which ones were one set, but I know all of these were like something like 6 or 7 different sets. The two that I'm missing because those were not sold as gacha. So they were kind of like a premium collection, which included Crescarurumon and also Blitz Greymon, I believe. And those were really expensive. Those were like, I think it was like $100 at some point. While it was new, I think it's a lot more now. So included like those two new figures, and that's why it was really expensive and I didn't get it. It didn't make sense to me. But anyway, today we'll be taking a look at these figures individually. I'm missing like the baby version of this guy. And please guys, I'm not too much of an expert on Digimon. I'm just a huge fan, so I might not remember the names of these guys. So hope you guys can forgive me for that. We're gonna be taking a look at this guy. I remember this guy's name to be like Koromon or something. Or I think the Koromon is like the baby version. It is of course made in China. Huge stamp in the back here. So these are different from like any other like vintage figures that were released, like a few decades ago. These are actually very accurate to the original Digimon art that was released way back when, like I think it's like 98 or something. So these were accurate to that art. Now, keep in mind that I'm saying that it's accurate to the art, not quite to the actual like figure. Here we have Agumon, classic. Even in the most recent game, Agumon's sort of like the most prominent main character. I don't know why these arms are sort of blackened. I think it's just maybe dirt over the years. I try to clean these as often as I can with like a dry tissue paper. I don't know if that's a good idea, or dry cloth sometimes. I don't want to put any chemicals on these to alter the color. Here we have Tyrannomon. As you guys can see, like the detail is actually quite beautiful. But there are certain issues where like, since they're so accurate to the art is sometimes like exaggerated in terms of the perspective. There's some like inconsistencies with the teeth there, but overall it's like really good quality. I don't think it's as good as like the new cage figures that were released recently, but these are really not bad. They also provide like stands because they made the figures exactly in the pose that they are in the original art. So some of them are not able to stand on their own, so they actually provide these little stands, which actually surprisingly work pretty well. They're sort of they sort of attach to it by friction. So you just kind of press on it and it sort of stays in place. You can glue it on if you want, but I chose not to. This is Seadramon. Seadramon looks really good actually. It's one of the more successful ones. Here we have Devimon. Here's what I'm talking about, you see. Like, I think from this angle, he sort of looks good, right? The wings are sort of, it looks to be facing the right direction, but if you look at it from this side, this actually looks really weird. It's because they were trying so hard to like get it to where it's exactly the same as the original art. the original artwork and the original pose, that it's a little bit wrong actually. Like if you look at it from here, it's totally weird. Like the wings just don't make sense. But yeah, it looks really great. Like look at the detail. Hope you guys can see the detail here. For something, I don't know how much they were sold for in like Japan, but I did get these for something like $30 a set of like 5 figures. So that's kind of expensive. That's like, you know, $6 a figure. With Angemon, I feel like with the face, they always kind of screw up because they sort of just put a red slit on the face and it just looks weird to me. I think they just should have done away with the mouth and not drawn it on. Angemon doesn't look as good as Devimon for sure. We're gonna go a little bit faster here. I just want to show all of you like all of the figures here. Here we have Numemon. As kids, I used to call him Slugmon because he looks exactly like a slug. It looks good though. It looks good. There's a lot of these like shading, like shades of dark gray all over the figures. It works to some extent, I feel like. Here's another one of those figures where like the perspective just doesn't work out. It looks okay from this side. It looks exactly like the original artwork, but if you turn it sort of this way, like his leg is way too big compared to this one. So he just kind of looks like a mutant version of Greymon. From any other angle, really, it doesn't work out. But from this angle, it's exactly like the artwork. And that's because the artwork was really exaggerated. It was really, really exaggerated. So you have these sort of weird perspectives. Here's Teddymon. I feel this one kind of works well, the kind of gray shading, because it does make him look a lot more menacing. Some of the older Teddymon figures, or I think he's called Monzaemon. We used to call him Teddymon. A lot of the older ones didn't have these darker shades, so he looked just like a teddy bear. This one looks a lot more menacing. I kind of like that. And then you have of course my favorite of them all, Metal Greymon in the original Virus Purple or Blue. So as you guys know, originally Metal Greymon was always like this purple, because he's meant to be like a zombie version of Greymon. You see, he's like a zombie cyborg version of Greymon, and that's why he's purple, because he's supposed to be like this decomposing zombie-like thing. I think that's definitely what they were going for. But then, like, you know, they didn't really expect this to be popular among children. And so once it became more popular, they sort of made Metal Greymon a lot more like kid-friendly. And they recolored him to be the same color as Greymon, just with robot parts. Kind of like Charizard, I think. He's kind of like the Charizard of Digimon. But he looks pretty good. Like there's very decent detail. Like look at the eyes. They actually colored in the eyes. Looks pretty good. It's kind of dusty. I apologize for that, but these have been on display at in my room for a while. So try to clean them, but you know, not as often as I would like. This is Mamimon. If you guys didn't know, out of the three, I think Monzaemon was always the strongest. And then Mamimon's sort of like the middle, and Metal Greymon, who looks the strongest, actually isn't the strongest. I don't know if that's true, but I remember when I was a kid, that's what we would talk about with my friends. We move on to, I think, version 2. This is if you guys played the VPET. This is like the version 2. The eyes are kind of weird, huh? I think they kind of screwed up the eyes a little bit. I don't know. Looks fine to me though. And then you have Gabumon, which is sort of version 2's Agumon. He looks kind of dopey. Look at the eyes. I think it's because of the perspective thing that I was talking about. Because in the original pose, he looks like this. In the original artwork, I think he faces this way. Like something like that. But now if you look at it from the front, he looks super dopey. Yeah, they're definitely problematic in terms of perspective. And then you have Elikmon, which is like the Betamon of version 2. Elikmon looks a lot better than Betamon. Just looks fluffy, cute. Yeah, I like Elikmon a lot. Really decent detailing. I think this is one of the ones that actually work out. He looks nice. Yeah, some of the other ones just don't look right. And we have Garurumon. Classic. He looks a little too white here. I feel like they should have gotten a little darker, especially in the mouth area. But he looks fine. He looks great. He doesn't look dopey at all. There's some really good detailing on the mold that I really do like. Kabuterimon is also one that they did really well, I feel like, on this one. Yeah, definitely looks menacing. Right details on the abs. Wow, look at his abs. Wow. This guy's been working out. And then you have, this is sort of like the Numemon of version 2. You have Vegemon here. Pretty good, right? Look at that detail. That's not bad. The eyes look completely painted on, but I don't know, I do like it. There's decent like gradation on the yellow to green. It's all pretty good. Actually, I don't think that guy is version 2. I don't remember anymore which one's version 2. I think Ogremon's version 2. See, like another perspective problem. The back leg is so small and the front leg is huge. The arm, I think, is fine because I think Ogremon has like one big fist. Yeah, this one looks good. Some of these work pretty well. I think we'll just mix up version 2 and 3 because I don't really know. I forgot which ones are version 2 and which ones are version 3. I seem to be missing some of the baby ones. Like there should be one more. And then I might be missing another rookie one too. That's a cool one. Yeah, it looks pretty good. And then we have Sukamon. Classic. This is like the Numemon of version 3. Yeah, version 3 was dope. Is this version 3? I don't even remember if it's version 3 or not. It may not be, actually. And you have this guy. I forgot his name also. Yeah, another perspective issue, you see. Huge arm. He's not supposed to have one bigger arm than the other. But that's how it is in the art, so we'll just go randomly, go to Leomon. Leomon is also one of the ones that don't work out really well, I think. It's always like when they have small faces, there's just not much detail on it, and he just looks like a clown. Yeah, this one, the cage figure looks really good. Like he's ready to pounce and fight. This one just looks weird. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. This one, I'd have no idea how he stands. I think he's supposed to have something under his knee here, but I might have lost it. This one, the coloring also doesn't quite work out. You have this like sort of slimy green, like a dirty green. I don't know if that's completely accurate to the character, but it probably is accurate to like the artwork. And then you have this dude. I don't know his name, but he's kind of cute. He's kind of ugly too, though. Yeah. Let's move on to like one of my favorites. Skullgreymon. Skullgreymon's badass, dude. In the anime, like I remember the Tai was like training his Agumon way too hard, and he was being pushed way too far, and he digivolved into a Skull Greymon. And then he had to like apologize for pushing him too hard. And that's when he sort of digivolved back into Agumon, I think, and took the proper path to becoming the vaccine Metal Greymon. Here you have Metal Mamimon. Metal Mamimon seems lazy to me. He looks good. He looks way better than Mamimon, but it's just sort of a lazy way to move forward. It's like version 1, you have Mamimon. Version 2, let's just armor him up and make him stronger. And here we go. Let's give him a blaster on one arm and a freaking claw on the other. Yeah, I don't know, man. Kind of conceptually not as strong. Yeah, Vadamon. I think Vademon or Vadamon. This one looks good. He's like an alien. Yeah, I like this one a lot. He's so funky looking. Yeah, I like that a lot. Vadamon. Then you have Andromon, I think. His name is Andromon. This is sort of the Metal Greymon of the whatever version this is, version 3. Yeah, this one's awesome, dude. This sort of like zombie looking things. He kind of looks like Devimon, right? Kind of look like a cyborg Devimon almost. He has a long arms, like skinny body type thing. It's so creepy. I remember as a kid, I thought it was super creepy. If you guys are new to Digimon as in like the early 2000s was like the sort of more menacing, darker version of Pokemon. That's how I saw it anyways. Like the monsters are a lot more scary, like a lot scarier than they are in Pokemon. Yeah, Digimon, baby. And you have this sort of version 3 Mamimon, I forgot his name. Kind of going back to the bomb concept. Pretty cool. He has a chainsaw now too for some reason. Man, that's so scary. That is so scary. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below. Thank you so much, you guys. I'll see you on the next one.